this is Hyojin.
안녕하세요, 선현우입니다.
Today we're going to talk about
Korean family names.
Ask Hyojin.
안녕하세요, 선현우 오빠.
안녕하세요, 안효진 씨. So my last name is Sun and
My last name is An.
so we're talking about Korean family names or last names, and it's funny because we say last name in English, but the reality is we actually say our family name as our first names.
네.
So-
my name's An Hyojin, but I never introduce myself in Korean Hyojin An,
Yeah,
but we
because-
always say An Hyojin.
안효진. So the concept of first name and last name wouldn't really work in Korean.
Not really.
So we have to say personal name versus family
family
name.
name.
So in Korean, just like in Chinese or probably in some other languages, you say the family name first and then the personal name last.
So my family name is An, and my personal name is Hyojin, and your family name is Sun, and your personal name is Hyunwoo.
That's right. So we're talking about Korean family names and some of the most common Korean family names and maybe a little bit about why that is.
네.
And also some interesting facts about Korean family names.
Okay, I want to talk about this first.
Yeah.
Let's say I meet someone whose name starts with An.
An.
Does that mean that I am related to them?
It could be.
It could be,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's possible,
Definitely.
but I don't know. Maybe with An, I would probably assume that you guys might be you and the stranger, like whose last name
An
or family
something,
name
Mr. An.
happens to be An.
네.
Could be related because I don't know how common or uncommon An is.
Okay. I would not automatically assume that I might be related to this person
Uh-huh.
because we might have different family clans, which is called 본관.
I see. 본관.
네,
So that is
본관.
family clan or exactly where the family name originated from, right?
Yes.
So
For
본관.
example, my 본관 is 순흥 안 씨.
Sunhung An. So whenever you hear anybody say 본관, that's actually an area, like a place name.
Name of a place, name of a city, name of a neighborhood where the specific family name came from.
Yeah.
For example, Sunung is a city, or I'm not sure how big it is, or if
it
it's
must be a
city.
small town.
Yeah, small town in 경북 영주. So my ancestor is from 경북 영주 Sunung. How
I
about
see.
yours?
My 본관, my father's 본관 and my grandfather's 본관, my ancestors' 본관 is 보성.
보성.
보성, it happens to be somewhat well known for its green tea fields.
네.
But other than that, people don't really know what else is there in Bosang.
선씨.
Yeah, so Sunshi, of course, the family name Sun has originated from Bosang. A lot of people know that. And if somebody is named Sun, or somebody's family name is Sun, I would probably automatically assume that this person and I might be or will be related because I know for a fact that there's only one type of sun. Yeah.
So you and 경화 선생님, whose family name is also 선경화 선생님,
Yeah.
could have been related in the far
Maybe,
like,
yeah.
ancestors.
I mean, we're not like directly related. Like, it's not like my uncle knows Kyungwa's uncle or something like that. But yeah, we are definitely related. And all the 선생님s in this country are related to me.
That's really not funny.
Because
That's really not funny.
Yeah.
And that could confuse our listeners.
Yeah, I was just kidding about 선생님. I mean, as a child,
네.
since my family name starts with Sun or is Sun, my friends would like joke around me and say 선생님 or 선풍기. Like whatever word starts with Sun.
Sun.
Yeah, my childhood friends would just throw at me like, hey 선생님, hey 선풍기, or even 선장님, the captain of a ship.
That's kind of cute. Mine was like kind of fixed. 안 예쁜 something.
안 예쁜.
안 똑똑한 something. Because the word 안
Yeah.
is a negative.
Yeah.
Like not, it means not.
Yeah,
so
and I
people just
totally
put-
didn't make the same joke about
Yeah,
that
that's really
in
lame,
a
I think.
previous lesson.
Anyways, that's 본관.
Yeah.
So my 본관 is 순흥 안씨, and there could be other 본관s as well.
Yeah.
But for 산, there's only one 본관.
Yeah, and that explains why all the E's out there, all the Kims, all the Parks, all the Che's or Choi's, depending on how you pronounce it, where you're from, are not necessarily
really-
all related. They have various types of different 본관s, family clans. They just happen to share the same pronunciation, same Chinese character,
네.
but they're actually different family trees, different
네.
family roots.
Okay, 오빠, 근데
네.
so your family name is one syllable.
Yeah.
And your personal name is two syllables.
That's right.
And mine
It's the same.
is the same.
An is one syllable. Hyojin is two syllables. Of
Is it,
course,
like,
on
really,
Facebook
really-
you are like SpongeBob, 6 syllables. Yeah. Anyway.
Anyways, is it really like fixed and everyone has to follow that rule?
No, not really.
Not
I mean,
really?
it's a general trend, of course, but the general tendency these days is people kind of break out of that routine.
That is
and
true.
they give their children one syllable of personal names, like
Yeah.
I did myself.
Yeah. One syllable personal names are not really uncommon. You
Mm-hmm.
can see a lot of people with one syllable names, and there are people with two syllable family names as well.
That's right. One of the most, I guess, common two-syllable family names is 선우,
선우
Yeah.
or 제갈. There are 제갈 as
제갈,
well.
and also 남궁.
남궁.
I can only think of those three in terms of two-syllable family names. There might be more, but if you say 선우, 제갈, 남궁, any Korean person would know because
That's the family name.
yeah, exactly. I mean, nobody would think, oh, Nam is the family name and Kung so and so is the personal name because there happen to be some actors and actresses
네.
who are really, really well known whose names begin with 선우, 제갈, and 남궁.
남궁.
Yeah.
Let's say 남궁민. He is an actor. His family name is 남궁, two syllables, and his personal name is just one syllable, 민.
민.
And of course, there are four syllable names all together. 선우, 제덕. 선우 is the family name, and 제덕 is the personal name.
Yeah,
so
so-
his name is four syllables.
Exactly. So these are some examples of names that are not like typically made. And also, I used to have a friend. I mean, I don't know her anymore, but
Okay.
a classmate of mine was 김초롱초롱 빛나리.
Oh, that's a cute and nice name.
Yeah, her family name is Kim, a very common one, but her personal name was nothing common. 초롱초롱 빛나리. So 초롱초롱 is, sparkling, like especially your eyes, and 빛나리 is like it will shine or it shall shine. So she had to fit those, how many syllables? Like 7 plus 1. So 8 syllables into whatever name field that
Yeah.
she, had to write her name in, and she would often drop the last 5. She would just write 김초롱. Yeah.
Wow, that's really creative.
Yeah.
김초롱 초롱 빛나리. Yeah, of course there are names longer than 2 syllables, 3 syllables, and there's like a lot longer names we have seen on television or something. So don't think that names are only 2 syllables or 1 syllable, but they are most common.
Yeah.
Okay, 현우 오빠, I have a question.
Sure.
What's your mom's family name?
My mom's family name is Kim.
Kim.
Yeah.
So it's not Sun.
No, it's not. And I think it's nice that she doesn't or didn't have to change her family name because it's her root. I mean,
Her
no
father's-
offense to all the other countries where or cultures where women have to follow or can follow the husband's family name, but in Korea it's not common or it's almost really, really rare to see it happen. People just keep their own name because it's your name. You keep it forever. That's the kind of way to look at it.
Yeah,
here.
so my mom's family name is also Kim. So we have An, my father An, and me An, and my brother An, and my mom's Kim. But nobody really thinks it's weird.
Yeah.
But on my mom's passport, I recently looked at my mom's passport and it said Kim something something, and it says wife of An. It was very interesting.
Just to show the
They are family.
relationship between your father and
And
mother.
mother.
I haven't looked at my mom's passport yet, and I've only looked at my wife's passport. She got her passport issued before marriage,
Ah,
so her passport doesn't say anything like that. But maybe when she renews it, maybe my
there's an
last
option.
name will be kind of part of the passport. But yeah, so people do not change their family name, so there's no concept of maiden names in
Not
Korea.
really.
Yeah.
And also, a lot of children follow their dad's family name. Actually, it was the law up until 2008. You had to follow your father's family name, even if, let's say, your parents got divorced and your mom, and you followed living with your mom, and your mom remarried. You still had to have your old father, not old father's name, your real father's name. That was the law up until 2008. But the
see.
law changed in 2008, and now you can even follow your mom's family name.
That's nice.
Or you can have your mom's family name in your family name. For example, let's say my dad's family name is An and my mom's family name is Kim. So what I can do is An Kim, to have An Kim as my family name and have my name An Kim Hyojin. And there are people like that.
That's right. Oh, we talked about the two-syllable family names earlier, and there are some fixed two-syllable family names
Yes.
that everybody recognized
As
as
a
two-syllable
family
family
name.
names. But if you see a really interesting or strange or unfamiliar combination of two words that are supposed to be family names, it's because the person chooses to use both their father's and mother's family name together in one name. Like I've met people who are Jung Kim so and so and Yi and Ji, so Yi Ji so and so.
Yes, that's possible now. And of course, and you can now follow your stepfather's family name or your mom's, just your mom's family name by law.
Yeah, I think the society in Korea in general is becoming more lenient and like generous about names.
네.
People use like screen names all the time
Oh, that's true.
and nicknames all the time. Like my sister, she uses nicknames much more commonly than I would ever do myself because I don't know why, but I've seen a lot of artistic people using like nicknames even among close friends.
Yeah.
Like they don't call each other by their
It's
names.
not a stage name.
Yeah, it's not a stage name.
yeah.
It's just a like everyday name that they choose to use for other people. So
네.
I think it's really, really interesting.
And that remind me of something. Like in English, you have like pet names. For example, if your name is Benedict, you can be called Ben, or Gabrielle can be called Gabby. But we don't really have that because our names are already very short.
Yeah. Since Korean names are already really short, people don't really have pet names. But
There are some common how to make nicknames kind of thing.
like
I don't know, people drop the last syllable of one's name and put something like cha or hong or something.
yeah.
Yeah, like kind of cutesy way, cutesy way.
Also, people can choose to use only the last syllable. Like if somebody's name is Minjun, they just call them Jun. Yeah.
Jun.
Or something like that. So there are ways, like personally invented ways to come up with pet names, but there's no like, William is Bill. There are no fixed rules like that.
And people only use it among friends. Okay, 오빠. 그런데
네.
do you know what's the most common family names in Korea?
Like maybe probably the most common one is Kim.
Kim, yes,
Yeah.
that's true.
And I think the second in place is Lee.
Yi, yeah.
And the third is Park.
Congratulations, you're Korean because all Korean know this.
So yeah, Kim, Lee, Park.
Kim, Yi, Ba.
Yeah, I think these three names comprise maybe like
Over
big portion.
40%.
Over 40% of the entire population of Korea.
네.
Kim, Lee, Park. 3 family names alone. So this also has to do with the fact that, like we mentioned earlier, there are many different family clans. All these people cannot be all related, right?
So Kim, Yi, Bak are the most common family names in Korea, and they are followed by Choi, Jung, Kang.
Okay, Choi, I can guess that. And Jung,
최경은 선생님.
yeah, Choi Kyungwon, Kyungwon's family name is really, really common too. Jung, okay, I didn't really see that coming. And what was the?
Kang.
Kang, really?
Kang,
I thought
네.
Kang was less common.
정말요?
Yeah, than that.
There are lots of Kangs apparently.
What are some other following family names that are
Okay,
common?
Kang is
Yeah.
followed by 조,
Jo, I see. My
And-
wife's family name.
네, 윤,
Yun,
장,
Chang,
임.
Im.
임 is pronounced as lim in North Korea, I think.
I see.
And Han,
Han,
신, 오,
uh-huh.
서,
So,
권,
Kwon,
황,
Hwang.
송, and An is the 18th, and Yu and Hong.
I see. So your family name is quite common.
Quite
actually.
common, 18th.
Like there are only a couple of hundred family names in Korea, and being the 18th, wow, very common.
How about Sun? Do you know?
I don't know. I think Sun is probably in the. I'm not sure.
Sun is 71.
71st place. I see.
71, 71st.
Yeah, I see. I'm kind of glad that it's not like
Really common?
Really common because it makes things a lot more precious if things are not really common.
Well, I
I'm
can't
precious.
imagine how. Not really. I can't imagine because whenever I see An, I don't feel anything. It's like
Yeah.
one of those songs, like family
Yeah.
names. But when you meet someone whose family name is Sun, how do you feel? Like, do you feel like
I feel very
반가워요?
happy to see them because like growing up in my entire life of 34 years, I've only met people who are sons like 10 times, I guess. So whenever there's a teacher in school whose family name is Han, the teacher will be super nice to me because they feel like I'm a family member, even though we're like kind of distantly, like remotely related. And I only had one classmate whose family name was also Sun. So I didn't really become the best friends, forever.
Because
type of
you
thing.
don't have a best friend.
No, yeah. But still, whenever we saw each other, we would be really nice to each other, and we would recognize that, okay, you're here, I see you, that kind of
And
thing.
your son too.
Yeah.
That's really
So,
interesting.
Yeah, so having a relatively rarer family name does have some advantages, I guess. Yeah.
You know what's interesting for me is that like every year we go see our ancestors like graveyards. We have this mountain in Chungbuk, Yeongdong,
Yeah.
and that's our family's mountain. So we have like lots of graveyards there, and we go there every year. And that entire neighborhood, all 언니 aunts live there.
I see.
Which is called 집성촌.
집성촌,
Yeah.
I see. In my 본관, in my father's hometown, that's where my father was born actually, and yeah, it's I guess pretty much the same. And there's also Sunsan, like mountain,
The family mountain.
family mountain, and all the tombs there are like they all belong to people whose family name is Sun, or people who were married to somebody who is Sun. Yeah.
So it's really interesting to see some like random strangers living there whose surnames are An, and my parents and my uncles are like, oh, he's your far away relatives, and it's really interesting.
Yeah.
오빠.
네.
But I don't think there are many 집성촌s.
집성촌 meaning a town where everybody has the same family name. So yeah, there are not many of them these days, but I can guess there used to be more of those because families used to live together, they used to farm together, they used to work together, right?
네.
So
I think that's in Joseon 시대, in Joseon dynasty, or in Goryeo 시대, or even further.
yeah, exactly. So speaking of Joseon dynasty and Goryeo dynasty, which were before the current version of Korea, before the Japanese occupation happened almost 100 years ago. So speaking of those eras, not all the people had a family name. To use, because many people were actually slaves, and slaves did not really have a proper family name because they could not, really like pass their family name on to their children. Their children might be sold to somebody else to work for someone else. So there was like always a disconnection in family trees.
Well, there are many different theories. Some people say that in Goryeo dynasty, they didn't really have many surnames even for farmers. And they say in Joseon dynasty, everyone, like a lot of people already had surnames. But some people also say that even in Joseon dynasty, only noble people had surnames. So we don't know for sure.
Yeah, we can't be sure. But one thing that we can say for sure is that like over the passage of time, more and more people started gaining family names. Like a lot more slaves, they actually gained like I guess citizenship or some status of nobility. So they were given a family name by maybe their owner, master, or somehow they bought it with money.
Yeah.
And then as they were doing that, they did not like make make a new family name.
A lot of people followed the most common ones, which were Kim I Pak.
Yeah.
So that's why there are so many Kim I Paks these days.
Yeah, I think it's funny how a lot of Koreans say my family is of noble origin or something like that,
like
and
royal.
royal origin. And nobody can be sure, and like it's probably that. The majority of all the people who are saying that our family is from some noble origin, they were not really like always like that. So not that it really matters, but I think it's funny how people always like to argue that they are special.
Well, what's funny is that it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't
make you any like special with your ancestors being royal or noble these days.
Yeah.
Even if your ancestors were slaves.
Doesn't really matter. Just remember that Kim I Pak are the most common Korean names. They're not related, and one of the reasons there are so many of them is because just in Korean history, people gained new family names, and in the process, they followed the most common ones.
Yeah, that's true. But there have been people who made up their own family names, especially people from overseas.
Yeah. I mean, there are more and more people coming to Korea to live here, and they gain citizenship, and then they want to form a new family clan.
네.
So, for example,
so now there are over 400 new family names made by people from overseas. And I have some examples of some famous people. Do you know Hyojin?
하일.
네, Mr. 하일 씨.
Robert Harley.
Robert Harley. His US name is Robert Harley, but he changed his name to 하일.
Yeah, and Ha must be his last name.
네, it's apparently 영도, 부산에 있는 영도 아시죠?
네.
영도 하씨.
I see. So
He's the first person.
he chose Yeongdo, a specific area in Busan, as his 본관.
본관, yes. And do you know 이다 도시 씨?
That's right. Yeah,
이다 도시.
I know. I've met her.
정말요?
Yeah.
Bonjour.
And Ida Dosi is her own, like her personal French name, and Ida is her personal name, and Dosi is her family name. She kept it, and she's still using it as her Korean name.
Yeah, her Korean family name is 도시.
도시.
She made the 도시 성.
I see. Really interesting. So she
도시.
kept her French family name, and she just converted it into a Korean name.
네.
I mean, her name happens to be really convenient to pronounce for
Ida
Koreans.
도시.
The same thing.
Yeah, it's not really common family names,
Yeah.
but it's easy to pronounce.
Yeah.
And do you know 신혜손 씨?
신의 손?
네,
No.
신의손. You don't
신의손.
know?
Yeah,
He
no.
was a very popular and famous football player
Oh,
who
really?
played in Korea.
Uh-huh.
And his 별명, nickname was 신혜손 because he was really good
God's
goalkeeper.
hand?
Yeah,
Yeah.
goalkeeper. He was a goalkeeper. So he took it as his real name in
Oh.
Korea. So he's a 구리 신씨's 시조예요.
Ah,
the
really?
first name of 구리 신씨.
The first ancestor of
Yeah.
the Kuri Shin.
구리 신.
So people started calling him God's hand,
네.
신의 손, and he just took it as his real Korean name.
네, 의손 is not really a common Korean name, but it's who he is.
Okay, yeah.
신혜손.
It's what people recognize him by.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
So we talked about Korean family names, and we answered some curiosities. And if there are any other questions you might have or other things that you're curious about, please let us know in the comments. We might be able to answer those questions in the comments or in future videos.
And let us know about family names in your country.
Mhm.
What's interesting about family names in your country?
All right, we'll see you next time.
안녕.
안녕히 계세요. Have changed so much.
I
Yeah.
remember like buying a pack of snack, 과자 or ice cream, even ice cream, 300원.